Hey, what's up, guys? It's Matt Modi with OddsJam, here to give a betting preview for Game 2 of the NBA Finals between the Celtics and the Warriors. You know, it's kind of funny. The Celtics won Game 1 and find themselves even bigger underdogs in Game 2. I believe Game 1 ended with the Celtics money line at plus 145. The Warriors was at minus 165. Now, if we look at it, the Warriors money line, the OddsJam line has it at minus 179. And the Celtics is at plus 160. There is a little bit of value on the Warriors at minus 167 if you were so inclined. Before I get into everything, to give a little bit of recap on my thoughts of Game 1. Incredibly impressed with the Celtics, but one narrative that I'm not quite buying into yet is that the Warriors should be worried, specifically because the Celtics won in a game in which Tatum struggled. Now, that is true. Tatum did struggle. The Celtics still won. But let's look at how everybody else on the Celtics did, aside from Tatum. If the Celtics are going to win in a game in which Tatum struggles, that means someone else would have needed to step up. And let's just look at the box score. Al Horford scored 26. Jaylen Brown scored 24. Derek White scored 21. Marcus Smart scored 18. Now, of all of those, Derek White couldn't make a shot for the first 2.5 rounds of the playoffs. Suddenly, he pulled a Fred VanVleet, had a kid, he can't miss. So maybe Derek White keeps it up. Marcus Smart shooting 4 of 7 from 3, that I can almost guarantee will not keep up. Marcus Smart is a streaky shooter. His percentages hover around 32. So because he made 4 of 7 game 1, I'm expecting him to go 2 of 9, 1 of 7, 3 of 15 in Game 2. That's just how Marcus Smart is. Now, Al Horford he's been awesome in the playoffs. His scoring specifically has been kind of hit or miss. He had some incredible games against the Bucks. But if we just look at his stats overall in the playoffs, he had over 20 points. He had 20 points exactly one time against the Heat. The only other time he went over 10 points was one game. He had 16 points. Other than that, he had some low scoring totals. And even the last 2 games against the Bucks, 6 points, 2 points. So Al Horford, as incredible as he was, he's not known as a flamethrower shooter. So all this is all to say, I don't expect the Celtics role players to play as well as they did in Game 1 in the rest of the series. So Tatum will probably play better than 3 of 17, 1 of 5 from 3. But Horford probably won't score as much. Smart probably won't score as much. And Derek White, who the heck knows? He probably won't score as much, but dude's been on fire ever since he had a kid. So I generally think that will even out. One concern that is legitimate for the Warriors is Steph Curry. He had 21 points in the first quarter on 6 made three-pointers. 3 of them he somehow managed to get wide open. The rest of the game, he really struggled. So if we just look at Steph Curry after the first quarter, the second quarter, he didn't even score. Granted, he only played about 6 minutes. He didn't play a ton, exactly 6 minutes. He only got up 2 shots. He didn't score at all. The third quarter, again, Steph played most of the third quarter. He had a decent quarter, scored 9 points. And then in the fourth quarter, when the game really got out of hand, let's look at Steph Curry's stats. 2 of 6, he put up 6 shots, only 1 3-pointer, and he only made 2 of them. He only scored 4 points. So I do think that the Celtics figured something out defensively on Steph Curry. They had an awesome mic'd up segment with Marcus Smart where he said, this isn't the Heat series anymore. You have to step up. You have to get up on him. You can't leave him open. So Curry putting up 34 points in Game 1, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the highest point total he put up in the entire series. So those are a couple thoughts that I had from Game 1. Overall, you have to be extremely impressed with the Celtics getting that victory down 15 late in the third quarter to win by 12 was an insane comeback. They outscored the Warriors by 24 in the fourth quarter. But that hot shooting stretch in the fourth quarter, there's at one point when they made 10 straight shots in the fourth quarter. They shot 9 of 11 from 3 in the fourth quarter. 9 of 12. You're not going to shoot 75% from 3 very often in many quarters. Al Horford, 2 of 2. Jaylen Brown, 2 of 3. Smart, 2 of 2. Derek White, 2 of 3. Jason Tatum didn't even score in the fourth quarter, and the Celtics put up 40 points. That, to me, is an outlier, not something that can be replicated. So, all in all, I'm not surprised that the Warriors are heavy favorites in Game 2. I don't think A lot of people expect them to go down 0-2, especially at home, especially the way in which they lost game one, just getting blitzed in the fourth quarter. Looking at the spread, so the spread opened up Warriors -3.5. It's been bet up to Warriors now +4, -4.5, depending on where you look. Majority of books actually have it at 4.5 now. So there is a little bit of value getting the Warriors at -4 because I think that it's just going to keep going up. Or you could even get the Warriors -3.5 at -120 on BetRivers. But I think that this is going to end probably evenly at Warriors -4.5. So if you can get them at 3.5, if you can get them at 4, I do think you would have found some value there. Looking at the total, so game one was pretty high scoring. I mean, the total ended up being it ended at 228. The total itself, the line ended at about 215, 212, something like that. As of right now, the total opened at 216, was bet down a little bit to 215.5. Some books have it at even at 215. I don't have a great feel for this total. Two awesome defenses. I have a hard time believing the offenses are going to play as well in game two as they did in game one. I mean, if you just look at the total shooting for both teams, 21 of 41 from three-point range for the Celtics, 19 of 45 for the Warriors, 42%, which is still pretty good. That's a lot of made three-pointers. The pace was fast, so I think it's possible that scoring does keep up in the rest of the series like it did in game one. I just need to see another game before I'm comfortable. So I'm sitting out on a specific totals bet. What I'm actually going to settle on is I'm not messing with the spread. I'm not messing with anything. I'm just going to settle on the Warriors money line. Looks like the odds already changed. So it was -167. Now the best odds are -170. I'm not messing with any of the spreads. I'm taking the Warriors money line. I don't think they're going to lose 2 in a row. I got lucky. In game one, the Warriors money line was the biggest bet I've placed in a long time. But I did the DK promo boost where if at any point the team's money line you bet had a 10-point lead, that bet would have been marked as a win. So I got incredibly lucky that Warriors money line bet did chalk as a W. The reason why I bet that with so much money was because of that promo. So, lucky, but that was also part of my thinking. But either way, I had the Warriors money line in game one. I lost. I don't think they're going to lose 2 games in a row. So I'm going to put my big bet on the Warriors money line in game two to win, -170. I don't love the juice, but I just don't want to mess with the spread. The Celtics are impressive. I just have a hard time believing the Warriors lose 2 straight at home. So overall, my bets, pretty good hot streak going. After losing my first 5, down 550, losing my first 6, I have now won my last 6, and I'm up 9 over about 930 in that stretch. Obviously, a third of that is due to the Warriors money line, and they didn't actually win. But doesn't matter. It chalks up as a win because of the promo, and that's why we take advantage of these promos. So the Warriors money line will be added to my game. Will be added to my bets. You see right here, DK promo I have for game one. I'll highlight that in yellow. But overall, I do think the Warriors win game two. So obviously that's why I took their money line. So that is my official betting preview. I do think the Warriors win and cover, but I'm just settling on the money line. And the total, I would probably guess it goes under, but I'm going to sit that one out as in terms of any official bets. So now what I want to do is just check out the OddsJam Positive EV page. This is where I find any type of 100% of my player props, and then any type of alternate line like a team total, first half spread, first half total, anything like that. I use the OddsJam Positive EV page for, and it looks like they don't have any alternate lines, but they do have some player props. I'm going to sit out these player props for now. I'm going to let some more money come in. Right now, the width is a little high on these first two, 45, 44. Some money come in, let things shake out a little bit. So I'm going to sit out any player props. So my official bet for this Game 2 betting preview is going to be Warriors money line -170 on DraftKings. Like I said, it opened up with the Warriors. Even as I was recording this, the best odds went from -167 to -170. So I think money is going to keep going in favor of the Warriors. As of right now, they're getting like 80% of the spread money, which is why the spread started at 3.5. Now it's at 4.5. So I do think if you can hop on the Warriors early, that will end up beating the closing line. And that is going to be, like I said, my official bet. So if you're tailing me on this Warriors one, let me know. You can hit me up at my Twitter handle that you see on the screen here. You can also let me know in the comments. Would appreciate if you could like the video as well. And also click that plus button subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel. But as far as this video goes, that is all I got for you. So thanks for watching, and have a good one.